All right, cool. Um, so hey everyone, my name is Pritesh and I'm the community manager and maintainer at LitmusChaos, and I take care of the community initiatives and the contribution initiatives in LitmusChaos. Welcome to the contributors and maintainers meeting. We do this meeting every second and fourth Thursday of the month, and we do community meetings every third Wednesday, sorry, of the month. And in today's meeting, we'll be going through some of the recent contribution and releases that has happened, and also we'll guide you through in case if you're new to Litmus Chaos and want to understand how you can get started with contributions, then this call is for you. Um, so yeah, let's get started. Well, let me go through the agenda of today's call. Um, I'll start with quick community updates that was just release of 3.28.0, and in that only we'll be going through some of the release items, and then we'll also guide you through the best practices and how you can get started with the contributions. All right, so if I go to the Litmus Chaos release, there were some of the amazing updates over here. First is we are excited to have Canonical as one of the adapters. If you go to the adapters PR, um, over here, you'll see that now Canonical is one of the public adopter of Litmus. Canonical is company behind Ubuntu. It's a very big company, and we are privileged to have them as one of the uh, you know contributor and vendor of Litmus Chaos. And so yeah, if I go back to the release, then there are three primary amazing contribution that has happened that we can talk about. First is this one. The issue was, if you go to the issue, when a chaos engine is configured with multiple command probe entries, all the probe end up with the same configuration from the last probe in the list. Ideally, what should have happened was each command probe should have their own source image and run properties, and should work independently and not it should not duplicate the properties from the previous command probe. And this was again fixed by the issue creator itself, and you are thankful for that contribution, and it was merged last month. Second was prevent subscriber crash on workflow add events with chaos engine nodes. Okay, so this was an issue because the add events used to pass old object as nil, and that led to you know on the other side, the code was attempted to reference the old object.status.node, and that's the reason it was crashing again and again during the workflow add events. And this was again fixed by the contributor, and thanks to them for the contribution. Last is if you go to the issue was undefined custom image registry for Litmus Checker during edit and clone experiment. So if you see, this is the edit YAML UI. The image over here she used to show undefined, um, and this was again fixed by Harshit in the contribution, and was merged last month itself. Yes, around 15th of April. And we are looking forward to for the next release, which will be happening probably the first 2 days of the upcoming week, the Monday or Tuesday. We have some amazing contribution which have already been merged but will be showing in the release in an upcoming release. So yeah, excited for those things. um Now coming back to the agenda now. Um, Best practices and how you can get started to the contribution. Let's talk about the code contribution first. So this is the Litmus Chaos repository. If you go to every open source contribution, I mean, every open source repository will be having a contributors guide. So if you go to this contributors guide, this is the place you want to be when you land to Litmus for the first time with the perception of contribution. This includes everything you need to know to get started with the contribution. These are some of the highlighted repositories that you can be part of, and these are the community meeting updates and things, um, meeting notes and everything. Okay. So if you want to set up the Litmus on your local, you can go to settings. Everything is already mentioned, by the way, in the contributors guide itself. Now, if you go to Chaos Center Development Guide, um, all the details related to how you can, set this up on your local. You have to set up your backend first. It's pretty straightforward for most of the users running on Mac and Windows. Um, yeah, it's very simple. Then I'll highly recommend before you get started with the contribution itself, you can go to um, the documentation first. Okay, this is the Litmus Kiosk documentation, and it's very straightforward in all the terms. Um, Starting from installation, and there are some key concepts that you need to know. What does chaos infrastructure, chaos hub, chaos experiment, right? BitOps and everything. I also highly recommend to go through the architecture summary, like how exactly LitmusChaos works. There is a chaos control plane, that is chaos execution plane, chaos control plane supposed to be in your Kubernetes cluster, which will be managing all your experiments, and it will talk to your execution plane to execute all the configured experiments in the execution plane, right? So you need to go through the detailings of what exactly the tool does and how it does, and it will help you in contribution also. So this is like an ideal way of doing it. Um, then once you are having a decent knowledge of what um the tool does and how does the code base look like, you can go through to different repositories. You can go through the good first issues. You can go through the recent issues which has been open and has not been assigned and not worked upon. You can directly go through them, and for example this one, there is some conversation happening already, but you can go through them, and if you find something relevant that you feel like you can get a fix for, feel free to raise a PR for the same. In case if there is an issue which doesn't which is not included in the issue list right now, feel free to create an issue for it, and then um, you can start contributing to it. In case if you're not getting any responses on GitHub, which why I might have missed for some reason, feel free to join our Slack channel. Slack channel is the single source of communication for us. You can go to our website litmuschaos.io, and then just click on join Slack, and it will take you to the Kubernetes um, Slack channel. And if I show you the Slack channel, this is where it looks like, and here is where all the details are. You can click on Litmus, and in Kubernetes Slack channel, you can go to Litmus, which is where I share everything, starting from updates related to contributions. In case if you're facing any difficulty, or if you've raised a PR that I might have or the team might not have checked, you can feel free to raise it over here. You can tag me, you can tag other maintainers of LitmusChaos as well. So this is one spot of notification of all the things which is happening in LitmusChaos. Um, so yeah, this is how you can do the code contribution, how you can get started and understand about the project, and you can begin your open source journey over here. Okay. Now coming back to this contribution part, this was one of the way. So what I believe is code contribution is one of the way of contributing to any open source project. But apart from them, anything which helps a community, the open source community grow is a contribution to the community. Of course, you contribute to the project via code, but there is much more that you can do apart from or in add on to what you do as a part of the code contribution. Second is second type of contributions are you once you join our Slack channel and once you are, well aware of everything which the product does. And if anyone is having any questions or if you want to get start or if you want to start a new thread about that new things that you know about or new use cases that you know about the product, this is again a part of the contribution. You're helping the community know about the capabilities of the project, right? So like start new threads related to the project. You can start getting involved in different sort of threads which are there in the project itself. This is how you can make yourself the one a mini advocate for that particular project or for the Litmus chaos also. Third type of contribution is writing blogs or creating some content around things that you have learned or things that you have worked upon related to the project. Starting with you can write vlogs and you can share it in the Slack channel, and we can help you, uh, you know, um, rewrite, or we can help you repost your blogs. We can also help you to post them on Litmus Chaos blogs as well. So if you go to Litmus Chaos blogs, this is where all the blogs do show up, right? And uh, yeah, you can you can feel free to write your blogs, and we will be happy to list them over here on the Litmus Chaos blog as well. Right. Third is you can also, once you are a like decent user of Litmus Kiosk, doing some practices around running some good set of experiments on your staging or production environment, if you feel like there is a feature which is missing, or there is something that you as a vendor or as a user can contribute back to the project, feel free to share your feedbacks, create new features, or create issues related to the new features that you feel like would be helpful to the project. Okay, so these are the different ways of how you can contribute as a vendor or as a user or as a contributor. And we are an open community helping each other to grow, help other grow in the community, and this is what we need. And feel free to reach out to me via Slack, and I would be happy to help you out in any issue that you are facing in the contribution or in the project itself. So with that, last is the open discussion. um, for any questions that any contributor or maintainer has. But since we are doing a solo session today, we do not have any open questions or discussions to do. So thank you so much for being part of this call and all the recordings that we do, the community meetings, and the contributors and maintainer calls or meetings that we do. Everything is getting uploaded on our YouTube channel. So feel free to check out our YouTube channel. If you go to um, the footer, you can click over here, and uh, it will show you this. And if you go to the videos, these are all the calls which we have released in past, and some podcasts and some good content around resilience testing and chaos engineering. So feel free to watch these videos, and if you find anything interesting, feel free to share it in your circle as well. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you in the next community call happening next week.